Hey guys, welcome back to JD Mods. Today we're going to be continuing the FD RX7 build. Hopefully you guys are caught up with all the episodes. As you know, it's now painted, the interior is assembled. In the last episode I just finished reassembling the engine bay accessories. So now we're finally on the exciting part of rebuilding the 13B. This is kind of what I enjoy the most about working on cars, rebuilding and modifying motors. So I'm really excited to be rebuilding the motor. So as you can see, I've already disassembled it. Actually the first video in the series. I disassembled it to the short or long block, whatever you call it, for a 13B. There's no accessories on it. So in today's video we're going to be fully disassembling the motor to assess the damage and what needs to be replaced. I was told it needs water seals. But while we're in there, we're going to do a full rebuild, including apex seals, O-rings, gaskets, the whole 9 yards. So basically, all I've done so far before filming was remove the flywheel nut. Now to do this, you can usually purchase a tool. It's around $50 that you bolt to your rotor housing, and it kind of goes on the teeth of the flywheel to hold it in place. Then you can remove this super high torque nut. But I didn't want to buy that tool, so instead I made my own bar with 2 holes in it to hold onto the flywheel bolts. This is 1/8 inch steel and it bent, so I made another one out of around 1/8 inch aluminum angle, and I drilled 2 holes in that, which you can bolt onto the flywheel like this. And then using my breaker bar with a 2 1/8 inch, or I believe 46mm socket, I was able to take off that nut, and now we can go ahead and take off the flywheel and then continue disassembling our motor. So since I don't have the adapter to bolt the motor onto my engine stand right there, I just leaned it up transmission side down on 2 wooden blocks, and it's pretty sturdy. So I think I can do most of the disassembly like this, but of course for all the high torque items and definitely reassembly, I'm going to have to buy the adapter to put a rotary on a normal engine stand. So right now we have it like this. I'm going to take off the oil pan pickup, and then start from the top down with the oil pump assembly, this guy right here. And if I use any wrong terms, don't shoot me down because I'm really new at the rotary world. Feel free to post something in the comments below if you have any recommendations. But anyway, pretty much the resource I'm using is a mechanical engine PDF package for FDs that I was able to find for free online. I'll post a link to that in the description below. It has the step-by-step for disassembly, inspection, and reassembly. So I'm not going to go into too much how-to detail, because it's all written out in the PDF linked in the description below in great detail. So I'm just going to show you me doing it, and hopefully we can have some fun together. So let's go ahead and take off all the screws, gently pry off the oil pan, and then take off the oil pickup before we damage it. So I just finished removing the eccentric shaft locking bolt, I believe this is called, and this sits right in the front of the motor, right in here. And so this is torqued on quite high. So a few learning experiences. I had to put the flywheel back on to hold on to something, and then I bolted on my custom kind of setup on here on the flywheel. and as you can see, that locks the front in place so that I could loosen this off. But this is torqued down really high, so I couldn't just use a normal wrench with a breaker bar on it. So what I ended up having to do to break it loose is heat it up a little bit with a torch, not too much, because I didn't want to damage the eccentric shaft by warping it. So I just lightly heated up the bolt itself, not the surrounding metal, and that heated up the threads enough to kind of melt the Loctite. Then I gave it a quick spray with WD-40 around the edges, which kind of seeps the WD-40 into the threads, which loosens it up even more. And then with a breaker bar on the end and lightly tapping it with a hammer, as well as a big old kind of breaker bar, I was able to just get it free. It's still warm to the touch, but I'm fairly certain I did not damage anything. So now I can go ahead and take off the front cover, which I believe is the oil pump. So in the last clip, you saw me remove the pulley boss from the front there, and here we have the front oil seal, which I just removed with a screwdriver wrapped in tape. We're going to be replacing the seal, of course, but you still should wrap your screwdriver tip in some electrical tape to prevent any damage to the metal parts. So now that I removed the front cover, I can go ahead and remove the drive gear. That's this little piece right here. And then we're going to go ahead and remove the lock nut, which means I have to first bend down this flange just with a screwdriver and a hammer. So once I've removed the locking nut with the impact, because this kept spinning, apparently we should be able to remove both sprockets and the chain in one piece. I already loosened this one off lightly with a rubber screwdriver to loosen off the keyway, and now this is the chain drive assembly off, and I'm going to go put this on my counter. So I just flipped over the block and I labeled the tension bolts, which are the next item to be removed, 1 through 18. You can see the numbers here. I got these again off of the repair manual. That's number 1, that's number 2. Then the rest you can probably see on camera if you pause the video. So all you do is with your wrench, just loosen in that sequence in multiple passes and then take out the tension bolts. So now with all the 18 tension bolts removed, we can now apparently remove the rear housing, and then the service manual says to remove the rear main seal and carrier next. So I'm going to do it the way it says. So I think with some wiggling, this should come off of the dowels. Just like that. I think I had a corner seal fall into the abyss, and as expected, a water seal is stuck, so I'm just gonna peel it off. There's another corner seal. Alright, I'm gonna go put this aside. Ooh. Now with the rear iron off, I just took off the tubular dowels, and you're supposed to use the slide hammer provided by Mazda, but I didn't have one, so I just used some channel locks wrapped in a lot of electrical tape and very gently just gripped them and pulled them up. They're very slip fit dowels, so they came right out without damage. So now I can remove the rear housing, the rear rotor, and then just keep working my way down. So here's our rotary engine completely disassembled. I haven't done any proper inspection yet as per the repair manual, but as you can see, we've got all of our accessories, and then I'll show you super quickly here. I might do a separate video on the inspection and kind of combine it with maybe the rebuild video, but essentially we got I can't remember which iron this is. It's been a couple days now, but it seems like all of the irons are in decent condition. There's no scratches or anything. The only thing is I believe nitride coating is peeling, but I can't get my fingernail stuck in it. I'm still going to go over it via the repair manual, measure it all properly with the feeler gauges, etc. But it appears that all the irons are in good enough condition. They all have kind of like the browning. I'm assuming that's where the exhaust ports are. Again, I don't know much about rotaries, so don't hate on me. I haven't done a cleanup of the rotors yet. They seem pretty good among initial inspection, but again, I'll probably just clean them up real good because they're all covered in carbon and then see how good they actually are. The only damage I found was on the rear rotor housing. It looks like a seal of some sort broke and dug quite a deep scratch into the side, so I am having to buy a new rear rotor housing. If anyone has one, let me know, but I'm probably just going to end up buying either new or used off of eBay. Used, they seem to be running around $400. Brand new, they're around 900 Canadian, that is. The front one looks really good condition. There's literally no peeling chrome. Unfortunately, this one doesn't have any peeling chrome either, but it is damaged, which is too bad. But that is the torn apart rotary, and for now, that's how it's going to sit until I have my rebuild kit. Let's take a little dive away from the engine for a second. Well, here's just really quickly the other iron. It's also in good condition. And anyway, here is a few new parts I got for the car that I thought I would quickly share with you guys. I got a whole bunch of clips for a bunch of the trim that I was missing. I found a pretty sweet website called Clips and Fasteners. I'm seeing if I have their name somewhere here. I don't think so. But one of the things I got are these little cowl vent clips, which I have already installed on the RX7 so that I can finally install my cowling, wiper blades, trim piece, etc. I also got some clips for my fender liner, and I got a brand new kind of master window and lock switch. This is an aftermarket one. It was only like 50 bucks, but mine was missing, so I definitely needed that. And I also just got a few other small OEM parts I was missing, like these little spring connectors. So really quickly, let me show you over on the car over here. The most expensive OEM part I bought so far is brand new defroster vents. You can see them. I am missing them right now. It is a very common problem on the RX-7s. They heat up in the sun and just degrade to nothing. So I got a full OEM 3-piece. They sell the aftermarket aluminum ones, but I really like the OEM ones better. Here's those clips I installed below the cowling. Got a brand new windshield spacer. All brand new clips so that the cowling won't shake or rattle at all. So I can go ahead and install the cowling now finally. Put on my brand new wiper blades. So I might, oops, hopefully that's okay. I might do that right now. Install the window vents and kind of do that to summarize this video. And then in the next video, we'll get back to the motor. I just got all of the window vents and wiper cowling installed. Look how good that looks. Brand new 3-piece vents, as well as the cowling installed with my brand new painted wiper arms with brand new blades on them. It's looking mint. So I might leave it there for today's video. And then in the next video, we're going to be continuing on the motor. We are going to be cleaning and inspecting all of the parts. So I want to make that a separate video. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you guys really like the progress on the RX7. And stay tuned for more Aristo videos as well. But for now, thanks for watching. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe.